ago, something happened that reminded me how emotional intelligence isn't just theory, it's practice, humility, and growth. So after a long, exhausting day at work, it was time to board the staff bus home. As usual, there was a bit of a rush. Everyone was eager to get a seat and just breathe after the chaos of the day. I approached one of the seats and noticed a colleague, very tall, with his legs stretched out. Understandably so, since there wasn't much space for him to tuck them in. I then asked him to adjust so I could pass through. But he didn't respond immediately, and in that moment of fatigue and frustration, I snapped. I spoke harshly, a reaction fueled more by my stress than the situation itself. But as soon as I got home and had a moment to reflect, I realized I had overreacted. My response wasn't fair, hence I sent him a message apologizing and acknowledging my part in the situation. To my surprise and relief, he responded, I am sorry as well. I thought I gave you enough space to pass. Actually, I am sorry too. The simple, honest exchange was a reminder that emotional intelligence isn't about being perfect, it's about being accountable. It is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our emotions. It's not just about being composed or you might not be conscious at that time. It means pressing pause instead of reacting on autopilot. It's recognizing that how you feel isn't always how things are, and that sometimes the best thing you can do in a charged moment is not to speak, but to breathe. I'm learning that every pause before reaction is an opportunity to re-engineer the mind. Each pause creates a small but powerful gap between stimulus and response, a space where empathy, reasoning, and self-awareness can step in. When you feel disrespected, overlooked, tired, or emotionally stretched, that pause can be a saving grace. It can be your saving grace. And yes, sometimes it happens in a split of seconds. You do not even realize you've crossed the line until after the fact. However, emotional intelligence isn't complete without empathy. Empathy allows us to step outside of ourselves and consider someone else's reality. In my case, I was focused on easing my discomfort and didn't consider that perhaps my colleague hadn't even heard me, or that adjusting might have been physically uncomfortable for him. Empathy doesn't excuse a behavior, it contextualizes it. It helps us replace assumptions with curiosity and irritation with understanding. True emotional intelligence is the balance of internal regulation and external awareness. It's not just saying, I won't react poorly, but also acting, what might they be going through? It's staying aware of your triggers before they hijack your words. It's noticing when your body language changes, when your tone sharpens, when your jaw tightens, and choosing not to act on that impulse. It's apologizing when you falter and receiving apologies with open-hearted humility. And self-awareness is the foundation of emotional intelligence. If we aren't aware of our emotional system, if we do not take the time to reflect, we risk acting impulsively and harming relationships. Being self-aware means recognizing when you are not in the best emotional state and acknowledging it. It means knowing when to step back, take a breath, and be honest with yourself about your reaction. But there is another key ingredient. It's being teachable. If we let pride dominate our actions, we will close ourselves off to the opportunity for growth. Emotional intelligence requires the willingness to let go of ego, to admit when we are wrong, and to be open to learning from our mistakes. It's about humility, being teachable in every moment, no matter how small the interaction. One of the hardest things to do is to hold yourself accountable. The highest form of deceit is self-deceit, and we are often our own harshest critics or most lenient defenders. But emotional intelligence demands that we face the truth by ourselves, even when it's uncomfortable. Being true to yourself isn't just about recognizing your successes, it's about acknowledging when you have fallen short and committing to doing better. Holding yourself accountable isn't a weakness, it's a strength, a sign of growth. Recognizing that you are human, fallible, and perfectly imperfect is the first step to real emotional maturity. We often think that emotional maturity is about perfection, always being in control, you know. However, real leadership, real emotional governance is knowing when to pause, when to speak, when to listen, and when to say, I was wrong. That small interaction on the staff bus may have lasted just a moment, but it left me with a bigger truth. Growth is not linear. And though we are human and therefore fallible, we should never stop striving to become better versions of ourselves. We are not aiming for flawlessness. We are aiming for intentionality, presence, and grace. So yes, I am still learning, still falling, still getting back up, still pausing, still reflecting and reprogramming those old knee-jerk reactions because growth isn't linear as far. It isn't a straight line or A to Z, but it is worth it. And emotional intelligence is not a destination, it is a daily decision. It's one pause, one moment, one conversation at a time. What about you?